Greetings, Earthlings. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my channel, Pterodactyl. I'm Zac. I'm a clairvoyant psychic, and I share my gift to bring out the best in yours. In this video, I wanted to ask the universe, what is the most important thing for pile 1, 2, 3, and 4 to hear right now? I took a look at an overview. I took a look at love and spirituality. There are 4 piles to choose between. Make sure you make an effort to ground your energy before choosing, because when you ground your energy, it gives us the best chance to link up in time and space so that I can pull forward the most useful information. So take a couple deep breaths, turn the lights down low. I like to light a couple candles. That'll look a little different for everyone. Once your energy is grounded, choose between the piles intuitively, and I will meet you at your reading. Hey, Pile 1, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. It is finally sunny after like a week of just either rain or gloom, which is so unusual for me. So I'm in such a good mood to do your reading today. You guys chose lapis lazuli, so of course I had to deck out in the 2 lapis rings that I own. We're going to have a bunch of different lenses today. We're going to start with a general overview, take a look at love, and then wrap up with an animal spirit guide. So for this general overview, over here we have something you can expect, something that's going well, and then something that's working against you. And then we're going to draw some tiny messages to get some advice. So something to expect. You guys have the 9 of Swords, and in this Nordic deck, it calls it mental conflict. I don't necessarily associate mental conflict with the 9 of Swords, but more so just like lots of things stacked up in the mind, a lot of them. So much undigested thoughts that we kind of they creep into the dream realm, right? So you guys could expect kind of some poor sleep, right? And I'm not trying to like frighten you or anything along these lines. If anything, this could just be honestly shining a light on the fact that you have a lot on your mind that you need to get down on paper. Okay. If I am going through periods where my mind races a little bit at night, that's something I definitely have gotten over, but it's usually kind of me not wanting to do all the little menial tasks, not wanting to do the laundry, do the dishes, tidy up the garden outside. Little tiny tasks that seem so simple to do, but they don't give us any dopamine. And it's so we don't really want to do them because it's just like, oh, I can always do that. It'll just take me a couple minutes. And then they all just like add up though. And that really takes away from your energy. So I'm honestly from this Nine of Swords getting more so this concept about cleaning house. And by the house, I think we're referring to your head. So make sure that you can kind of get as many of these swords out of the mind as possible. So you guys could have a lot of things that you're just thinking about. Well, what needs to be decided on? Like, what in your mind could stand to be removed? Like, is there just something that you love, you're really excited about it, but you know it's just like the wrong season for it, or you just like literally don't have time for that right now? You know, lay that to rest, right? Don't keep that in the mind because it's taking up a lot of space. It's just too much going on in the mind. So I see you kind of just getting down what you can accomplish and what just needs to be laid to rest. What needs to be set down for a rainy day. You know what I'd like to do? I will, I have a calendar in my kitchen and I have this great idea. It's just I don't want to keep it on my mind. I will jot it down on that calendar. And so I'm not going to forget it because it's on a chalkboard. So I erase it every month and write a new one. And I will make sure that that note is seen. But it frees my mind to be able to do the things in the day and to be able to utilize more of my mind while I'm doing the things that I need to or want to do. There's a concept coming through about priority. What I'm also seeing was this time in the transition from high school to college. In high school, I kept a rigorous planner and notebook where I wrote down everything that was due. When I went into college, I didn't have that. I think in part because in high school it was always given. They give you a planner in like what's called homeroom. And is there a younger crowd of people in this reading today? Hi, is this your first time here? Leave a comment below. Say something. I want to say something to you. Anyways, though, this concept of having a planner, and in college, I just kept everything in my mind, and I'm very good at it, but towards like junior and senior year, it was just too much. I had too much going on. And it was like using my mind in a way that kind of exhausted it. You know, it's one thing to be able to operate without having a bunch of, necessity to have a planner and to write everything down and to trust yourself and have everything going on in your mind. But that's just, sometimes it's too much, and I'm hearing that you guys could really stand to benefit from getting a planner, getting more organized, getting a little bit more strict about what you want to do and what you need to do and what you actually have time to do out of those things. There's this concept coming through where there's so much on the mind, it blocks your intuition. And I feel like there's a little bit of a blocked intuition going on. And so you might be having wild dreams and poor sleep as a result because there are spiritual messages that are trying to come through. And if they can't come through in the waking day, then your spiritual team is going to have you work on them while you sleep. So you could be more tired. So you could expect poor sleep. But I'm kind of raising this message up to just get your awareness now, so you don't have to go through poor sleep, right? So you don't have to have all of what's going on in the day-to-day creep into the dream realm. So just be aware of this. This is just something to expect. And I think that there are messages that you could expect in your dreams because, again, they're not able to be shown to you synchronistically throughout the day just because your mind has so much on it. So it's really trying to get you guys to recognize what's just extraneous, like what is there that does not need to be there. Because if you can kind of get your vibration to a place where you're just moving consciously, you know what is next. You're not trying to I'm getting a little sense of an overwhelm of possibility and potential, and it's great to sense your potential. I would definitely not discourage that, but what I'm picking up on is that it's taking away from your ability to produce in your waking life. And if you don't have 100 things on your mind, you just know the couple things, 1, 2, or 3 things you're going after and need to do, it creates freedom in the mind for your guides to speak to you intuitively, for your higher self to get into contact with you, but it also just leaves you less frazzled. I'm getting this concept of just being a little bit less frazzled as well. Cool. Very curious because if you look at what's going well, we have Mercury in the sign of Leo. This is all about communication and intelligence as well. And what I'm hearing is that concept again coming through about a planner and feeling very successful, very capable, very in charge, very grown up is a clunky way of saying this, by being able to hold everything in my mind, but it was not necessary. Right? To the point where it creates less space for me to move within my mind and to be present because I'm holding so much in my mind, making myself be responsible for so much. Everything at the tip of my tongue. It's just not necessary. It takes up room. And so I feel like something that's going well, certainly your mind, certainly your intelligence. But what I am hearing is that you don't have to make it so hard on yourself. This is a message, a gentle message coming through from Spirit. So this pentacle right here is a pentacle for eloquence. So speaking very eloquently and choosing the right words and having the right concepts come through and to be illustrated eloquently. So this idea that's going really well for you is speaking, right? Something that's going very well in your life right now has everything to do with how you communicate. I'm getting this concept of if you're a writer, you're having access to the words you wish to choose or wish to illustrate. If you're talking to people, if you're someone who gives advice, these are all very supportive ideas. You're able to attract attention to yourself right now by the way you speak. Now, what I want to do before we move forward, I guess I a little bit jumped the gun. This Nine of Swords, mental conflict. I know this is just a general overview. It's going to be different to everyone, but what I want to do is kind of draw a tiny message. Not a tiny message, a message from the void. Not these. I'm not hearing those. I want to shuffle this. Oh my goodness, there's so many jumping out, and this is telling me that I should probably go through this at one point. Let's just, reach way down in here. Okay, we'll pick 2. Okay, let's see. Repetition reveals genius. Ooh, and I was in a very good handwriting day. I don't know if you can pick that up. At least the word repetition looks beautiful. Repetition reveals genius. That's an incredible message. And then start with what you know. That's good. Okay. So I feel like there's something that you guys are working on, or you have, again, this passion. And there's this concept coming through about having enough time. Do you have enough time to pursue this? You guys are exhausting your mental headspace by drawing up a mental pro and con list. And I think you would really benefit from seeing this down on paper. There's a concept of clouds coming through right here on this communication card, and it talks about the mind. And I'm just seeing you guys it's like you're pushing yourself unnecessarily. The amount that you're putting on your mind, the strain that goes on the mind is too much, and it doesn't need to be that much. So a little bit of mental house clearing as well. There is a message here about just beginning. Start with what you know, because that's going to, your knowledge set is going to evolve over time. But if you're only ever spending time at the beginning spinning your wheels, you're going to exhaust yourself from even taking advantage of the intuition you had to pursue this, whatever this is for you, pile one, okay? So just begin. Start with what you know. Books will appear, mentors will appear. A concept that's coming through from Spirit recently is the Wheel of Fortune to me. And it talks about, the universe will grease the wheel, but you have to be the first person to get it going. You have to be the catalyst. You have to be able to push something, take action in your life, because then the universe can grease the wheel, okay? I'm just seeing it's like if you were to pick up this gigantic boulder from here to here, the universe can't grease underneath the boulder until you pick it up. And so once you're here and you're picking it up and you're going to set it down here, during that process, the universe has time to stick a bunch of lard under that boulder so that when you set it down here, suddenly it rolls and pretend you needed it to move even further. And so you set it down, suddenly it moved. It's that concept right there. For pile one. The universe will grease the wheels for you, but you have to take action. Repetition reveals genius. I think you guys are pursuing something. You're not the best at it yet, but if you show up every single day and you put in the work, that's how progress is made. And this is a message that you might hear over and over again. It is a cliche, practice makes perfect. I think that my words right here are a little bit better. Repetition reveals genius. What that means is that you can't expect to be very good at something if you just try it once. And there's a difference between very good and having your own mark on it. And so there's this concept coming through about if you want to be amazing, people who are amazing have a unique stamp on whatever they're doing or building. The only way you're going to be amazing is when you become comfortable within the thing that you're trying to do. And so if you give yourself time to get comfortable, to get bored, you're going to be able to push the boundaries. You're going to be able to cut corners. You're going to be able to, there's another phrase that's escaping my mind. Here it is. If you, once you know the rules, then you can break them, right? And you can break them consciously. That's something that I learned a lot in throughout my fine art education. It's one thing to just, break the rule of thirds. That's like a concept, for visual. I don't know why I'm trying to describe this to you guys. It's just a message about repetition, over and over and over again gives you the space to have your mind unfold. That's that message coming through about the mind again. Because when it can unfold, you see things from different perspectives. You're not boxed in by doing things the same way or focused too hard on being perfect. And it is that relaxation that gives you the ability to find out where you are going to introduce your individuality, your uniqueness. So there's definitely a concept coming through about pursuing something day in and day out, recognizing that it's not going to happen overnight, but that's fine. You don't want it to happen overnight because you're not going to have any time in order to reveal genius, right? You're only going to be a carbon copy of what already exists. And you're never going to be able to get past that person you're idolizing in hopes of being that carbon copy because they already represent that niche. You have to be able to find your own niche. And so if you're trying to be like someone else or do something just like someone else, you're never going to leapfrog them. You're never going to create this emphasis on getting past it and being your own spark of creativity and consciousness. The way that you get to do that, though, is when you find relaxation through repetition because it opens up cognitively for you. Okay? So I just wanted to throw these tiny messages on this, mental conflict. I just thought it was an interesting card to come out as something to expect. And then to have, this, what's going well next to it, it's just a little bit kind of opposite energies and in the wrong kind of opposite way. That didn't make sense, but it made sense to me, so that's fine. So let's just move past this concept of the mind. I feel like we spent a lot of time there. What's working against you? Taurus. Yikes. No, I don't mean to offend anyone. I have a little bit of a bad stink against Tauruses. There's some... Yikes. I'm being so honest right now. There's a tarot card reader they are a Taurus and I just despise their energy. Okay. But I also had an ex who's a Taurus and I could not communicate with him. And so I just have this thing against Taurus, and I'm human too in this lifetime, so allow me to have that. And I don't mean to offend anyone who has a Taurus placement, okay? It is just, literally exactly opposite everything me. I am a Gemini moon and an Aquarius sun, so to have such a sluggy energy is just not for me, even though I have a Capricorn rising. Anyways, so what's not going against you? Anything that has to do with sluggishness. Earth. I'm seeing you're kind of a little bit lost in the illusion of something glittering, when the reality is it has a false, it's not actually gold, it's just gold leaf is what's coming through. So there's a concept about getting real with what you want. The spirit, the universe wants to tell you right now, you're a little bit under the illusion of something. Something that's sparkling, glittering, it's gold, that's grand. It's not actually what it is. It's not what it seems to be, okay? And so you're only going to figure that out for yourself, pile one, once you take action. Once you're able to get that wheel of fortune moving in your favor, okay? Because what's not working against you is anything that has to do with slowness. Okay, I think you guys are being a little, you're sitting in the energy of patience, but again, this concept right here is about what's working against you. So I feel like you've been stagnant. I'm getting the concept of the hanged man now. Something to do with a little bit too much of divine female energy. We want to introduce this courageous lion. This kind of energy right here is giving me divine masculine. We want divine masculine, and that is the energy of doing. I had a really cool concept come through this week on my way to the gym. That's always when my concepts come through. Divine female is exuding. Divine masculine is exerting. I've been working really hard with my guides to define the difference, okay? And divine female, again, being, divine masculine, doing, okay? So there's this concept about needing to exert force, take action. Your guides want you to make a move. And I'm hearing Ariana Grande. I've been waiting and waiting for you to make a move. So that's what we want for you guys. Now, let's get this lapis out of the way because I want to make room for some advice. Here are the tiny messages bowl. I have been adding so many tiny messages. So, excited to see if anything new comes through. Let's grab, as always, 3. Just give me a second. I gotta look away. 1. Change. 2. Power. 1 more. Let's get a really tiny one. What are you? Okay. It's not super tiny, but that's okay. Okay, so change. Yeah, changing the energy. I think you guys have been sitting too long in divine female, and I just got a ding. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Sitting too long in divine female, so waiting to attracting, right? I think the time is ripe, is what I just heard, okay? The time is ripe. You have kind of understood what it means to work with divine female energy. It is now time to use the flip side of that coin, which is divine masculine energy. Time to change something. 5 is a number of change. You had change come out again, so that seems pretty synchronistic. Again, this right here is what's going well. So change would do you well. Change. Anything to do with the way you've been going about life, the way you've been going about whatever this reading means individually to you, pile 1. Okay, so advice. We also have power right here. So I feel like you guys have been gaining power. You've been sitting in the divine or divine female, and it is time to utilize that power that you've gained. You could have rest, okay? You could have an opportunity coming up, is what's coming up. Okay, you have an opportunity coming up that's going to provide you with the ability to move forward in an arena of your choosing, in an arena that seems most what I'm picking up on energetically for you. You're going to have an opportunity, but you have to be able to change gears, right? We really got to switch energies in order to take advantage of this. Okay, so look out for that. And then you have clear winner. I'm hearing you're going to come out on top, okay? And I'm also hearing a message for creatives. I feel like you have gotten recently an idea. You've recently got an idea, and I'm hearing it's a good one. Okay? I can't really be much more specific than that, but there is this little message that's coming through hot and heavy. You've recently written down an idea, or you have a concept recently. It could be about a project that you set down a while ago, but you've recently got new light on it. There's something in your arsenal, in your repertoire, that is a clear winner. Okay, and I'm also getting a very loud jet going overhead, which is a personal sign for me that I'm on the right track. So you definitely have a concept, new concept for an old idea that you just thought of. That's the very specific message coming through for pile 1. Okay, so let's shift gears, and we're going to take a look at love. We're going to first look at people who are committed, and then we're going to do singles, and then again, we're going to wrap up with an animal spirit guide. Okay. This is for people who are committed. You guys can skip ahead if you want. However, I always feel like it's really useful to just listen, because there are also people who are like in situationships, and this could apply for you. So let's start here. Romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Exploring is what's popping to me. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. And then unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. Two main energies coming through, okay? I'm kind of putting this card actually right in the middle. What I'm sensing, for those of you who are in committed relationships, it would be great to go on a trip together. If you guys could do something about going on a trip, okay? Because I feel like there is a rekindling, or, a concept I love to bring through, and I will try to forever on this channel, is that relationships ebb and flow. And I'm so passionate about this because it was literally an epiphany. It was so eye-opening to me. When I was much younger, I was in this relationship, and I just was expecting it to be hearts and flowers forever, the honeymoon to last forever, because I wanted a true romance within a relationship. And romance and love are not the same thing. Romance and relationships sometimes aren't necessarily coexisting. And so what I have is a message for people who are in relationships, feeling like the romance is kind of fading. Be creative. Try different approaches in love. If you guys are people who might be a little bit more open sexually within the relationship, bring that concept through. It can look any way. Your relationship can look any way, and it's probably going to stand the test of time if it doesn't resemble anything like what relationships have been built up to be until today, right? So this concept of romance, you guys could, spark this by bringing in a third party is what's coming through, okay? Or taking yourselves on a little bit of a vacation, a little bit of a trip, just the two of you guys, okay? To rekindle some romance. Somewhere new. Take a little trip somewhere new, right? To see the leaves change, okay? I feel like I'm picking up on an energy from New England. Now, this other part has to do with people who are in relationships and you're just too confused, right? You're confused about feelings. I think there's too much energy being put on to this relationship. There's just too much focus, right? That's what that strong 9 of Swords energy is. It's coming through for you guys who are committed, not feeling like sparks are flying, not feeling like things are being rekindled. There's this concept of not enough attraction or chemistry to keep the relationship going. Now, this is where it could evolve, right? It could change, right? I think we've been a little bit in an energy where we just let things happen, waiting for change to happen. Your reading has everything to do with change, okay? And you guys, you will know if I'm talking to you right now, and you guys have known for some time that this is not working. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that the relationship is doomed, but what I'm saying is that you know exactly what needs to happen. We just need to take action. Okay. Pile 1 has everything to do with taking action. My attention is drawn to this humongous sword here. I mean, I don't think anyone could wield a sword that large. The swords talk about action. And I think that there is some action, some conversation that needs to be had. And remember, you do have Mercury and Leo on your side. So your words are very sweet right now. Okay, we also have this scroll right here in the High Priestess. So you guys have a very strong ability to communicate clearly and effectively at this time in your life. This concept about not having enough chemistry or attraction. Okay, I see a third party, a younger party coming in to shift up the energy, especially in the bedroom. Okay, but I also can pick up on someone else attracting your attention. There's definitely someone here who has attracted your attention. I'm getting younger than you, or what I'm getting is that this person has, you have a little bit of a crush on them. Okay, that's what's coming through. Some nebulous feelings towards another individual, and again, I am not here to call you out, okay? Yeah, absolutely no judgment in relationships. I think they're something that needs radical transformation in the future of Earth, because people get trapped in codependent relationships. And because of, the financial status of everyone on the world, it's very hard to get out of a relationship because it would just make so much financial sense to be together. So it's really important to own your power, and it is the power to make decisions and to take actions and to express words in order to get the emotions to the surface so they don't have to be there. Again, there's a concept coming through for pile 1 where there's everything that's on the mind that's holding you down. We want to lighten you. My entire purpose of doing these readings is to free the individual, to free the seeker who comes to receive the message. I want you guys to have full access to your capacity as a soul. Right now, there are emotions that are under the surface. You got to prick that vein, got to let them out, because we want you to be able to use your full potential and power, have access to it at all times. So let's see this Page of Cups. Single. Okay, we'll do singles soon. So if you've been wondering if they're in a relationship, they're not. They're definitely single. I don't know that they've had many relationships, just friends. Okay, so this person just wants to be friends. I think that there's been some casual flirting. Cool, that's chill, Allow that to be. I'm hearing friends with benefits for some of you, though. Especially those who feel very strong that there's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, okay? Yeah. Interestingly, I'm hearing, let's grab a little bit of a tiny message from this Page of Cups. Somewhere down in here, I feel you and you. Okay. Find a niche and kill your idols. Haha. Okay. Let's let these messages go. These feel very, very similar to what I was talking about at the very beginning, okay? Find a niche. It says design your relationship to look like however you wish to experience it, okay? It does not have to look anything like what the world wants, the society, the outer world, right? Inner world is more important right now, okay? I'm hearing like what you do behind closed doors is up to you and only you. So this was for people who are committed. Okay, now let's look at the singletons. Okay, so for singles, I'm going to do tarot. I don't know why. I don't know why, but so this is for everyone who's single. Do we have a message? Okay. Okay, so Spirit really wants you to focus on healing right now and getting over someone. Releasing an ex is coming through, okay? All those frogs you've been kissing in the past are meant to guide you towards a period where you do self-reflection in order to step into your power. And that's why that message was coming through so strong if you were listening to the committed part of this love reading. Okay, that message of being able to access the full extent of your ability as a soul in this incarnation. Okay? There is a grander ability. There's a grander amount of energy and power. Power was one of your tiny messages that came out. There is a grander level of power and potential within you. And I think it's going to be revealed from healing. Healing and giving yourself self-love is what's most important right now. I know you're looking forward to singleness, but I got to work with what Spirit says. This feels very accurate as well. Okay, so this, would be a very good time to book yourself a mani-pedi, a facial, right? Those are just external things though. I'm hearing talking to yourself in the mirror. I'm hearing changing something about your appearance to sort of make a divorce from the past into this new you. I think one really good way to feel like a newer version of yourself is definitely through changing your hair, experimenting with colored contacts, experimenting with fashion, wearing a different type of clothing. If you're someone who wears more tight clothing, experiment with like a looser type of clothing is coming through. We want to put a lot of attention on healing, right? I also love to see 369. It's a very spiritual set of numbers. Okay, I think you guys are, that's just it's a really good group of numbers to be working with, and this message seems to be about self-love. Okay, definitely self-love. Though I'm hearing that message. Okay, I'm hearing that message, but I'm so excited for others of us who are in this Empress energy already. Okay. We are letting go of relationships from the past. I'm hearing that you guys have done cord cutting, okay? I'm also hearing that you guys really did write a letter to your ex and burn it and felt what that felt like. So let's see what we might have. I want to kind of pick up on a crush of yours. Someone who has captured your attention. Brie Vandekamp. Okay, so Spirit is saying, no, Zach. There's the emphasis on putting yourself first and building your brand and building your career and building your finances. Brie Vandekamp is the Queen of Pentacles, okay? She can do it all. She has a little bit of family things going on, but I don't really want to drag that into this reading. Okay, but she is an exceptional entrepreneur. She's highly talented, very, sorry, I just totally got a massive brain fart. Where was I going with that? Very intelligent. But there is the emphasis on her being by herself, okay? There's an emphasis on someone who is very capable to be alone at this time in their life in order to learn some things about themselves so that when they re-enter the dating world, they're in their divine power. Okay, there's this concept about attracting someone, not looking for someone. Different than the energy in the overview, but this is in love. In the matters of overview, we want to be in the masculine energy of exerting effort to get something to happen. Here, we want to exude that which you wish to receive. We want to be in the energy of receiving. So we want you to pamper yourself because you wish to be pampered. Concepts like that. We want you to feel very beautiful because you're also seeking someone beautiful. We want you to spend a lot of time reading new books because you also want someone who's intelligent and well-read. That is the concept for my singles, okay? Love that for you guys. Now let's wrap up with an animal spirit guide and what they have to say. Do we have an animal spirit guide for pile 1? Oh my god, it did not work. Let's try that again. Okay. I don't know why on this table it doesn't want to do that. Okay, let me just shuffle these again. Okay, so for pile 1, please. Oh, you cannot make this up. This is the card of action. Not joking. Okay, so your animal spirit guide is the card of action, the antelope, okay? And that's basically what Spirit wants to say. Everything that we've gone on about in this reading was meant for you to hear. I don't really feel like there is any other message. I wouldn't want to beat a dead horse, okay? So your guys are like, time to get up. Just time to get up and move, time to make things happen. You recognize now how to do it, or you're creating strategies, by writing things down, keeping a list, in order to get clear what needs to be done. We're clearing the mind. Mind is clearing. Time to take action on your dreams and goals. And just in general, time to move. Time to shake up the energy. You had the number 5, and you had the number, or the tiny message change come out. So we're getting this big concept coming through for pile 1. What your spirit guides really want you to know right now, time to change. Time to take action. Time to move, period. Okay, so if you guys have not been doing so great at the gym, time to do that. Okay, last week for me was really bad. I only went to the gym twice, and I noticed a remarkable difference, right? I just felt like SHIT, and I went today with a bunch of gusto, had a very good workout, did a lot more cardio than usual, and I just feel so much more energized. It's really important. Your guys are wanting you to take action towards creating a workout routine that you enjoy, especially as we move into the winter, colder months, okay? For people who live in the United States, I know I have people who live elsewhere, but there's a concept of as things slow down, we want to make sure that you're able to work out and move the body. Definitely taking action. That's so funny, very synchronistic. Love to see this. Okay, for you guys, this is pile 1, the end of your reading, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. If you liked this video, or if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really helps my channel grow, helps other people find these messages too, and no matter where you are in the world, pile 1, day or night, until next time, stay divine. Hey, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so very well today. We have a bunch of different lenses to look at. We're going to start first with a general overview, and then take a look at love, both for those committed and single, and then wrap up with an animal spirit guide. So for this first lens, this general overview, over here we have something to expect, something going well, something working against you, and then we're going to look at some advice with some tiny messages. So this first card, the 4 of Cups, I love this card. It might be one of my favorite cards in the deck, not graphically, but from the understanding of the message that it provides. This 4 of Cups, it really does talk about a very necessary shift from focusing on perhaps what didn't work or hasn't worked out yet or just isn't the right shape, the right person, the right feeling, into a more optimistic lens. Because the truth of the matter is, the spirit of the universe is trying to offer you something. There's something on the sidelines, just outside your peripherals, that the universe has been trying to get your attention to notice. There's definitely something that the universe is offering. So just if you're familiar with the tarot, especially the Rider-Waite version, you can remember that there is a figure sitting on a hillcock, which represents perspective, looking down upon 3 cups, kind of unenthused, and the cup coming in from the side. That cup from the side is from the universe, from spirit. And I feel like you guys are a little bit in this energy, or will soon be in this energy, just like boredom, kind of like, why isn't this taking off? Why isn't this person here? What's wrong with this relationship? What's missing? This just isn't up to snuff. And I kind of want to let this position, let this card be a little bit of a heads up so we don't have to experience that. Because that's the position right here, is what we can expect. And I kind of want you guys to become self-aware, to recognize this opportunity, this something that is a gift from the spirit of the universe for you to take notice of, because you need it, is what I just heard. It's like you need this gift, this emotion, this perspective change. Let's get a little bit more information about this. I'm going to reach for this deck. Okay. All right, Spirit, so this is for pile 2, please. This 4 of Cups, this something to expect. Can we have a little bit more about this? Fire with passion. I like to see that, all this water right here, and we got fire. Fire and water make steam, and steam is the element of air. And so it could be that you guys are just a little bit confused about something, hemming and hawing about something. And I feel like we're almost at a disconnect between the heart and our mind. This is something that you guys should expect, okay? This gift from the universe, it's passion to reignite something in your life. Let's see if I can't reach into this tarot deck get a little bit more about this. I feel like the energy of boredom is what we really want to get rid of. Seven of Swords, yeah, self-deception is what I just heard though, okay? So what I'm picking up on is that you guys have just been in this energy of like, ho-hum, nothing's great, or waiting for something to change. I'm hearing you say that you don't have enough cards in your hand to shift your position into a favorable outcome. And you're like, universe, this is a co-creation. Like, what's the tea? Like, where are you going to show your hand? And I'm hearing the universe is already making efforts to show their hand in this co-creation, whatever you seem to want to build or experience. For some of you, it's passion. It's a relationship. For others of you, this has to do with your quality of life, your lifestyle, is what I'm getting. And I'm also hearing that the universe, again, and I just got a ding, the universe is saying that this already exists. It's just outside your perception. And so if you could somehow make an effort to change your perspective, you're going to be able to see this gift that the universe has offered to you. It's just in the sidelines. It's been here all along. It just lies barely outside of our perception. And you're going to be able to utilize that, and it's going to help you solve this energy right here, which kind of feels like boredom or lack or just flase da. Yeah, that reminds me of Pearl from RuPaul's Drag Race, and I heard right before your reading, come on, get out of your shell, Pearl, which is what Massage, oh my god, Michelle Visage tells Pearl about, yeah, I don't really agree with the view, honestly, in that specific episode, and that might be you guys. What really irks me about that episode of RuPaul is that they're trying to tell Pearl that she doesn't have a personality, when her personality isn't an extroverted one, more introverted, more quiet. And I'm like so annoyed because this is like such a widely watched show and it's such a really, really ignorant thing to put out into the universe. To tell someone that their personality, just because it isn't loud, it does not mean that they don't have a personality. It just doesn't mean that they don't have a TV personality. Like, who the F cares? And that's kind of what this energy is too. Four of Cups, quiet, meek, more humble, solitude a little bit. I'm hearing that some of you have a lonely job or a lonely life, or that you've just been a little bit lonely, sitting in that lonely energy. And I don't want you to belittle yourself. I don't want you to get down on yourself. And I don't want you to look outside yourself. I'm hearing that comparison is the, what is that? It's the robber of joy. That's a little bit clunky, but that's what's coming through. Comparison robs you of joy. And so I'm feeling like, honestly, this time you might make an effort to pull away. Pull away from where you are experiencing the energy of looking down upon the Three Cups and just not having it. Just like, this ain't it. This ain't interesting. This is boring. I'm just seeing the same things over and over again. La 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 la. If you make an effort to sort of change your perspective, you're going to be rewarded by the universe, because the spirit of the universe already has something. It's already exists. It's like literally, I keep seeing it just off camera. Like, it's literally just over here. And we're looking over here, though. And so, although it exists right here, we're never going to see it if we're looking over here, right? It's just behind us. And so you almost have to do like a 180. And this is going to look a little bit different to everyone, okay? Honestly, I want one more little card, and I'm going to go into a totally random deck. I'm going to go into my romance deck, Spirit. Younger. So different than where you were now. Younger. Okay, I'm hearing beginner's mindset. Okay. Yes, this is energy that's on its way to you, and you could be experiencing it already. The spirit of the universe doesn't want you to become jaded, because that's where you're headed, pile two. You're about to approach this energy of your life where you will become jaded. You know, that can sometimes initiate a spiritual quest, this concept of a spiritual awakening as well. And I don't want to rob you of that experience, but I also don't want those who are already spiritually awoke to experience being jaded, because it really does kind of, it takes so much from your life to look at things as if it's all lackluster. Okay, this is what I'm seeing for pile two so far, okay? Good heads up. Honestly, that is a very good heads up. Let's keep this younger card out. So what's going well? You have Mars in Capricorn, okay? Very curious energy, because it's a little bit exact opposite to pile one. You guys are ready for action, to do something. Okay, but there, when this Sagittarius, the Voyager card, came out, it was reversed. This is what's working against you. And these concepts of risk-taking, adventure, independence, seeking, traveling, all of those are deep desires, but it's like we can't tap into it for some reason, It's almost like a pipe dream is what I'm hearing. But before, I get too far ahead of myself, this authority card, I've never seen it before. I feel like it really represents who you guys are, and you have a really strong tendency, pile two, to become jaded, and I just remembered that I almost grabbed jade for this pile instead of this shell, and I think that's really remarkable. Natural jade, I collected it in Big Sur, California, and what I'm hearing is that you really could stand to go on an adventure right now. I think the biggest benefit for you is to expose yourself to new climates, people, restaurants, way of beings, okay? Just to give yourself more to pull on, because you have a real sense of authority and power in this lifetime. Pile two, but you care a little bit too much about power to the detriment of everything else in your life. And at the very core of existence, life is about balance, because we live in a world of duality. And so to, give yourself too much Capricorn energy, too much power, too much focus on drive, ambition, and success is going to have you at times cut corners and cut people out of your life in your effort to gain success and authority and notoriety. Except you need people in order to ultimately feel fulfillment, which is what you actually want deeper than power, pile two. It's a fulfillment, okay? That Four of Cups energy is really important for you. This is a really important message for pile two. This concept of success versus fulfillment. I want you to unpack that on your own time. I think that's, that's really crucial. Not every tarot reading can be like, oh, there's someone has a crush on you. They have brown eyes and they work out at the same gym as you and they like you back. Sometimes it's a really good spiritual truth that is revealed, and this is for you because you are definitely supposed to be in a position of authority, leadership. You have all of these qualities about you, but you take on the weight of the world. And as a result, it causes you to just look at things through this concept of, I just have to get through this goddamn existence so that I can move from this plane into the next life. However, by doing so, you rob yourself of giving other people your spiritual gifts, but also your other, more human talents and gifts by focusing so hard on accumulating for yourself or for protecting your energy or by, really, really being selective about the people you hang around. What you do is you almost prevent your abilities from being shared. You hold them all for yourself, all your talents and your skill sets. This is some real straight up tea for pile two. I don't want you guys to feel called out or anything though. But what I'm hearing is that you rob the ability for other people to take from what you have, because you're supposed to share those gifts that you came with. Ultimately, you really should be a gift for your community and everyone you interact with. But I'm just sensing a little bit of a power grab right now. So maybe just dig a little deep. Recognize where that drive and ambition is coming from. Recognize that perhaps, people who have a lot of money don't have a lot of friends. And so they don't really have anyone to share those experiences with. And so it's not necessarily about the success of money, more about the fulfillment, the quality of being fulfilled. I think that could be radical for you. That change of awareness is going to be radical for you. It's going to liberate you, Pile 2. I see you being able to go after everything that you desire just as you like, but your perspective really matters. The power of perspective, goddamn. The power of a change of perspective is so, so radical. That's what I see working well for you, is you either seeking counsel right now, someone in authority, or you kind of getting a little bit less jaded. I'm just seeing these ancient glasses. Someone's plucking them out of the sea. They're heavily corroded, and they have all sorts of barnacles and mollusks and coral on them, and they hardly even resemble glasses. And I'm just seeing it like plunged into this water. What is that called? A centrifuge? Not a centrifuge. Something along these lines, though. It like shakes it really gently like that. It's what you use to clean diamond rings. Anyways, and I'm seeing all the crud come off this to reveal the most gorgeous glasses. Yeah, because I think that we're looking at life a little bit jaded, right? Because I'm seeing the concept of rose-tinted glasses, but it's the exact opposite of that. It's as if everything is dull and lacks vibrancy. We have to really kind of dig within ourselves, recognize that, yeah, we are an evolved spiritual being, but we have to share these abilities, and it is by sharing and opening up that it is going to allow light and life and color and laughter to be able to come in and to really enrich our lives. Working against you, Sagittarius, very curious energy, and that's why I'm going to hold on to the concept that this was reversed, because this is energy that's very empowering, okay? I don't see you booking the trip. I don't see you happy-go-lucky. I just see you seeking with unbridled lust for power and authority and to be on top of the world. But I'm just seeing that only one person can stand up there and be the king of the hill. He has no friends that way, and that's a very lonely life. And it's coming back to this concept of fulfillment, which is the biggest concept I could give you, Pile 2. Learn the difference between fulfillment, satisfaction, power, and authority. Life is about a balance. Yeah, that seems to be coming through. Maybe I want to grab one more card. This concept of working against you, I'm not really sure, Spirit, why that was reversed. This is for Pile 2. Can I have something that's working against them? Maybe a clarifier. King of Wands, action, LOL. Okay. Yeah. I get very much this, the rebel child of the deck. Working against you, though. Some of you are expecting spirituality to present the life that you picture for you, just like that, like magic. Others of you are not utilizing spirituality and kind of like misusing your power or putting the use of your power in the wrong field. This is a very curious message. I think that this is synchronistic. It's not very clear to me, though. Because what I feel like is that this is everything at your disposal. Thank you, Spirit. It's in your subconscious. You don't know this. All of these qualities of this Sagittarius expansion Voyager card, they lie within you, but they're in your subconscious. You got to reach a different perspective to tap into this energy. This is the energy well you haven't used yet. Okay, I'm seeing this cord or this pipe go down into two wells. One of them, the pipe's been completely disconnected over here. And this one's been run dry completely. And you're sitting in this energy of like, well, what next? That well, that represents something different to each of us. But I think down in this well is some of these ideas, so I'm going to read them. Enthusiastic, philosophical, independent, generous, ethical, seeking, happy-go-lucky, adventurous, honest, bareback, unbridled, experiential, lucky, boundless, traveling, risk-taking, tactless, self-righteous. So there's these qualities that are in this well that need to be tapped into. They just haven't been tapped into yet. Okay, so this was our general overview for pile 2. We're going to take a look at love now. First committed, then singles, and then we're going to do an animal spirit guide. Okay, so this is for people who are committed, and that can mean so many different things to each of us. You can be committed in an open relationship, and you can be committed in a closed relationship. So for pile 2, please, what do we want to pick up on? 2? Okay. Unrequited love and attraction. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going, and then you attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Wow. So there's someone I'm picking up on in pile 2, and I feel your energy very heavily, okay? And again, that message of being jaded is all I can give you. This is an inside job. You're not going to find answers different than this in tarot readings is what I'm hearing, and it feels like Spirit really wants to give you a truth serum. It is an inside job. Any evolution, any change of perspective, you have to initiate it. We're not giving it to you, is what the universe is telling me very frankly. You're not going to get it unless you make the action, or you're not going to be able to perceive it until you're able to change your perspective. That's a very strong message for someone in here, okay, you guys? So people who are in relationships, I'm hearing that it is not the problem of your partner. I think that you guys have gotten jaded, and the world can do that. Earth is a very difficult place to be in, and I want that to be known to you, pile 2. Earth is a very difficult place to be in, and it can really rub our edges, and we can really get stuck in self-limiting beliefs, and I feel like you're experiencing a self-limiting belief, and the spirit of the universe doesn't want that from you because you're here to experience the most abundant life. I feel like you could really strongly benefit from believing that the universe always has your back, but also that the universe wants you to experience the most abundant life. Why? You're asking me why? Why? I want to say, don't be so jaded, but I also want to say that you experiencing everything you desire creates more experience itself. The universe is expressing itself through zillions of different sparks of consciousness. You are one of those. And so instead, picture that you just went around on this hamster wheel over and over and over again, never really went after the things or desires of yours. Your pool of collective experiences that you can offer back to the universe would be very small. Okay? A trite experience is what I just heard. But instead, if you could utilize a little bit of faith and trust in the universe and go after things and have the universe grease the wheels for you, support you, you're going to be able to expand that pool of experiences and be a lot more valuable to the universe. It helps the universe experience itself. Okay? Just work with me. That is my concept of consciousness. It does not have to be yours. You are in my tarot reading, though. Now, what I see is that this concept right here, enjoying this moment fully, the word attraction is popping as well. Unrequited love. I feel like you've closed yourself off. Pile 2 has closed himself off from something even though their suitor or their partner is magnificent. I love to see this really big sword right here, the angels on their side. One angel over here, she looks weird, kind of disembodied, almost just like a floating head. And then, I'm just really interested into this figure right here, this gorgeous yellow satin bow. It's beautiful. It talks about the sun and awareness. And I hear this figure, you, is what I'm picking up on, in this more kind of gray blue, right? A little bit reminiscent of the King of Swords. Very biased, or a very non-biased, very just is what I meant to say, but almost too serious. And here's that message that loves to come up on this channel. Do not take your life seriously, take your work seriously, but do not take life seriously. We live on Earth in this existence. You're a soul having a human experience, and that is not an easy thing to do. Try to allow yourself to just roll a little bit. Roll a little bit with life and experiences and design things, pile 2, to make your life different. I'm hearing like drive to work differently, drive to the gym differently, try a different gym, try different foods. Just today I was in the beans aisle at the grocery store, and I saw this cool little new packet for lentil soup. It has like split peas, some pasta, different lentils in it. You just like put it in water and voila. I've never seen that before. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And so I have that cooking in the background today, and it smells amazing. I haven't tried it yet, but it's exciting. It's new. It's different. And sometimes those small, very trivial, mundane things are what we can change, and those are easily help us change our perception of our experiences. I'm also hearing, change your hair, bring fresh cut flowers into your house, pile 2. It will literally change your mood. Okay, I know where you are energetically. I have been here many times before. I consider myself highly evolved as a spiritual being, also highly intelligent, and that is who you are as well. But you're not using, your intelligence is getting the best of you because it is saying, why? What matters? Who cares? Why? What more is there of this existence? But that is only an energetic state. That is a vibration. Recognize that you're intelligent enough. I know that you are. Recognize that that vibration is one that you can change. It requires you to make a decision to do so. The universe is not going to provide you with things that are going to shift it magically. Those things already exist. The universe is already working with you. Remember, it is your perception. Those things are already on the sidelines for you, pile 2. The universe is already providing you with different things, a different sunset view, a random magazine resurfacing, or an actor on the cover of that magazine that you hadn't seen in a really long time, or a book or a comment from a person. But if you're just laser focused on the day, in and out, in the mundane, you're never going to pick up on these details. Your spirit guides and your higher self always want to work with you. Always. They never leave your side. And so if you can't see these things that are definitely there for you, pile 2, you just have to change your perception. Okay? I don't want you to feel called out. I really want to help you in this reading because I can feel where you are energetically, and it is hard because it requires you to pull within yourself and recognize that you are the only person who is going to be able to change this perception. It is an action you have to take. It doesn't matter how many signs and synchronicities the universe shows you. You have to cultivate this perception within yourself. And I know that this was a love reading, but I could just feel this, okay? Now, we're just going to allow that to be for committed people, and now we're going to take a look at singles, okay? So this is for singletons out there. I don't know what's going to come out. I want to pull like a bunch, though. Okay, Spirit, so this is for pile 2. Light eyes. Does your crush have light eyes? Taken. Rebound. Curious. One more. Oh, we got 2. Light-colored car and tall. Wow. Okay. I'm hearing for those single, okay, that there is a figure that you are highly attracted to, and I am hearing through all the messages. I always get all of them, but I also can see to the very end. I think my dad used to call me eagle eyes. That's what I can do. What I'm hearing is allow that to be a palate cleanser. Okay, allow this person to be gone. This person that I picked up on first, okay, I'm going to draw another one I just heard. This person could drive a light car, light-colored car, white, light gray, just light in general. They could be very tall, taller than you, okay? They could already be in a relationship, and I'm hearing, honestly, that they could be, okay? Already in a relationship, was not ever looking for something serious, okay? That's what's coming through. If this is resonating for you, let's kind of let that person go. I'm going to draw a couple tarot cards before we take a look at a different person. Nine of Cups, emotional satisfaction. Wow. Yeah, you really like this individual. But we want to make sure that you can find that, within yourself. King of Wands came out again. 5, and this person is a one-night stand. This person looks good on the outside. There's too much going on, okay? I'm picking up on energy. Sometimes I feel like I like to describe the cards. This, I'm just getting no. Okay, it's fleeting. It's a fire, passion burning within yourself, but you got to let this person go. There's someone else much better. Okay, there's someone much more mature, much more experienced, spiritual too. And I think that this person that I picked up on first doesn't have the level of spirituality that you do, okay? And I don't want to see you in this relationship where you feel like you have to teach them, because I'm picking up on someone a little bit more curious about the universe and has gained information for themselves. So let's let this person go. Okay. Let's go ahead and pick up on another. Your reading is a little long. That's okay. Okay. Is there another person that we can pick up on? This is for pile 2. Pillow lips. Love it. And you are forgive me. Oh, I really like this. I really like this, you guys. I don't know that you would forgive them. They were a very good kisser, okay? They could have incredible lips, something specific about the lip, like a freckle or a scar on the lip, okay? I don't know that you're in communication right now. I think that this is a past lover, but I like it. There's a softness to this person, okay? I'm hearing that they have darker features, but what I'm also hearing is that not all the information came to light at this parting. Not all the information came to pass or came to light, was revealed by both of you at this parting. I think for simplicity's sake is what I just heard. That's a curious message. For simplicity's sake. That's a beautiful word. Simplicity. I'm hearing felicity as well. Happiness. Yeah. Oh, and a sunflower too. Okay, so they could have given you sunflowers. Sunflowers could have been very specific to you guys. I think that there is an apology coming through for my singletons. This could also be for people committed, but especially singletons, okay? If you guys are single, there is this person who was just unlike any other of the people that you were in a relationship with before or had kissed before, because this person is an excellent kisser. Or it's just like, you could just kiss this person and that could be the best hookup you've ever had, is what I just heard, just by making out, because this person actually knows how to kiss. I'm being pulled to this deck. Okay, so you have something to say, Spirit? Gemini, I love this energy, okay? Very curious. This person could be an air sign, could be a Gemini, a twin flame is what I'm hearing. I'm hearing you guys are both stubborn. I'm hearing as well that you mirror each other. The word perceptive is coming up. That's really interesting, okay? I'm hearing you guys did not have the best communication, right? The Gemini card was in reverse when it came out. But the rose is there, right? There's a strong attraction. Here are all the roses as well. Spirit really wants to remind you that it's really important for you, pile 2, to live in the present moment. I think sometimes you look for people outside of yourself, and in that tiny bit of free time that you do have, you kind of are always just looking for someone. And the message is to attract, right? The seeking was what was working against you. The seeking, the constant seeking, that's masculine energy. We want you guys to work with divine feminine energy, to be that which you wish to experience. It's going to radically change your perception of your existence right now. You can be extremely happy and have $10,000 to your name. You can be extremely unhappy and have $10 million to your name. Okay, so I don't really need to drag that out any further, but Spirit just wanted to bring up this Gemini. I really like them, okay? I got that vibe right away for you. Darker features is coming through again, okay? One more card, I'm hearing one more card. This is for pile 2. Oh, I'm actually hearing you. Oh my god, I made such a stink about kissing. Your lips, my lips, apocalypse. Wow, would you look at that? I also said a scar or a mark or a freckle by the mouth or on the mouth. Both of these people have that. That's really crazy, really synchronistic, really definitely picking up on this energy for you, pile 2. So cool. Yeah, this concept again about kissing, making out. Your lips, my lips, apocalypse. Even making out was the best hookup for you guys. This person, dark features, probably Gemini, probably air sign, or at least feels very twin flame. A lot of attraction and romance. Okay, I'm hearing that not a lot of partnership or commitment or relationship aspects were really high on the scales, but attraction was. This is a person I'm picking up on. The message is about forgiveness. That's up to you guys. So let's wrap up with an animal spirit guide. Sorry, I had to let the cat in. The black cat. Oh, so technically you guys have the blessing of the black cat. You guys have so much at your disposal, pile 2. You have so much at your disposal, but it's just that the world has really done something to really get you stuck. Don't overlook all of the qualities you have within yourself, okay? The Gemini card is a reflection of you as well. This is a very talented person. This person's very cool, very interesting, very complex. But the mind, I feel like, just needs a little bit of relaxing. You just got to relax the mind and trust that the universe works with you. It is a co-creation after all. Spirit for pile 2, wild boar confrontation. An otter, that feels more, yeah, this is what's going on. Divine female, divine masculine. Okay, curious. Remember how I said we've really got to relax and just go with life? That comment about flow. That's what the otter says. She is also, very, the message, I don't know why it's coming through, with this animal medicine lore is that sometimes when Native American women would lose their husbands, especially sisters would allow their husband to sleep with them because it provided them warmth and the emotional aspect that is required of being human, being seen. Okay. And there's just that love, that deep, deep love that is able to look past someone's own relationship to extend that to someone else who could be hurting. Okay. So it really talks about compassion to me and really divine female energy. We want you to kind of go into a much easier flow because I feel like you've been working so hard. I only drew one card for pile 1, but these both really wanted to come out for you. Really been going after power at all costs, right? Trying to really get yourself to stand out, whether it's with the people that you're around, the people you're trying to contact or get in contact with or be seen by. Your status is incredibly important to you. But that confrontation comes at a cost because I feel like you've sometimes burnt a couple bridges. We all have. But the message that Spirit really has for you right now is this otter, right? This very gentle nature we want to bring out in you. Gentleness is a superpower. I used to not think so. I used to be in this poor energy. I knew exactly where you guys are. That's why I want to help you so much. But this gentleness, this receptiveness, going with the flow, trusting that the universe is there to sprinkle magic along the way. You don't have to do everything all by yourself, okay? Remember, Earth is difficult to incarnate into. Your guides are always here to help you, always here to show you the way, always here to guide you. You have to be obviously the one taking action, but you could do it in a gentle way that doesn't feel rushed or hurried, okay? These are the parting messages for pile 2. And I really liked your reading. I hope you did too. If you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day or night wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine. Hey, pile 3, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. We're going to take a look at a bunch of different lenses. This first one is more or less a general overview. We're going to take a look at love, both for people committed, also singles, and then an animal spirit guide to wrap up your reading. So for this general overview, we have over here something to expect, what's going well, what's working against you, and then we're going to do some advice, and I'm going to draw some tiny messages for that. I've been adding a lot, so we have a lot to pull from, but let's start here. Your reading is interesting because I feel like I could almost summarize it very quickly, but I feel like to experience what you're going through energetically, it's difficult for you to perceive this, is what I'm saying. So what's something to expect? You know, the King of Wands, it could be a person for you guys, but I'm hearing it's actually access to your power, access to your spiritual abilities, okay? At the nth degree, right? This is the King of Wands. They're a very highly spiritual individual. Now, what's going well? So if you have action and inspiration on your side, you can make anything happen. 12 is a number for Archangel Michael, and I love to see that. Okay, so just work with me. I know I'm skipping a little bit. This is working against you. But a curious message to have. The lotus flower with unfoldment, okay? So what I'm picking up on is the moon right here. And something that I've just learned about the lotus flower, I can talk on and on about this flower. I didn't know this though, but the lotus flower at the end of every day actually goes underwater. It is resubmerged, and the petals close, the bloom closes up, and when the sun comes out again, it will rise several feet to resurface and unfold again with the sun, okay? So what I'm picking up on, I'm just, for some reason, really feeling called to just, like, give it to you, not piece by piece, but in the entire concept that I'm picking up on. And I feel like it is because you guys are so spiritually adept, right? I'm definitely speaking to adepts here in pile 3. So the message Spirit has for you is that throughout life, you're always going to be searching for more light and more truth to fuel your spiritual journey. And however, there are periods of rest, okay? And the other message that's very strong is that we shouldn't search for or kind of be fueled by spiritual ambition, right? That means to misinterpret spirituality, you know? And something that I bring through from time to time, and I think it's really kind of humorous, because I spent, I think, multiple past lives as one. Monks, for example, they really go to the extreme. And there are definitely people on this planet who could operate as anchors, but if you think about life and duality, that's not balanced to pursue spirituality at the cost of everything else, right? You didn't come to Earth to do what you do outside of Earth. You come to Earth to experience the human experience, what it means to be human. And the 3D and touch and feeling and emotions. Okay, so what I feel like is a message for you is that spirituality is supposed to be something that you can incorporate throughout your life. And you always will. But even if you have a very strong spiritual practice, your faith is going to be tested throughout periods of struggle and suffering from time to time, right? However, it's more that you're able to hold within you strong faith that you are going to overcome whatever present challenge is at hand that is testing you. That's not something you're going to be able to remove yourself from in this lifetime. You're always going to have a spiritual yearning, but there are periods where you don't necessarily need to go after spirituality with such gusto and lust, right? I really find that interesting, this moon coming up right here, and this new thing that I learned about the lotus going under the water, right? I always talk about the soul blossoming. The lotus flower to me really does talk about a spiritual awakening. It's planted deep in muck and mud, and it has to rise all the way through the water, and the water is obviously subconscious, to reach the surface, consciousness, or sun. And that is a process we're going to go through over and over and over again. So, yeah, very, very interesting Going to go back over things because I know as an Aquarius, I put all the pieces together at once in my mind and expect you to read it. But not very helpful. Something though first that's really catching my attention is this moon. It's like puckered up, right? It looks as almost a bit a lemon is what I'm seeing. And it's just, kind of like it's got this sour expression, real squinting kind of going on. Okay, let me talk through this pile 3. And it's over kind of a city right here. Kind of looks cold, kind of like winter. And then across this, though, we have this dancer in such a beautiful costume. I love the blues and purples going on, dancing on Earth, right? Not the city, with this really gorgeous pinkness around her. Pink can also talk about the heart chakra. Okay, so it's almost like there is this divide, okay? And this is what's going well right now. You're able to differentiate between inspirations, okay? Because to have, the King of Wands coming up, you're about to experience a lot more energy and a lot more determination, drive, and passion. Lots of fire coming towards you, pile 3. A lot of fire. I'm hearing a spiritual fire. Your spirit guides don't want you to misinterpret this energy as going whole hog spiritually at the cost of every other factor in your life. Relationship, career, yada, yada, yada. Everyone has a spiritual ability. Everyone has a psychic ability. Some people are born with it a lot more evolved already. That doesn't mean you can't evolve it naturally throughout life, okay? And so this message that Spirit has is that we really want you to be able to distinguish different types of inspiration and to give yourself freedom somehow. To give yourself freedom, I think spiritually, right? Pile 3 is always a very spiritual pile. Just always is. And actually, 1 and 2 is 3. I did call upon Archangel Michael too, though, so definitely creative, spiritual people in this reading. Now, this differentiation, and I know I'm covering the cards, but I'm picking up on their energy when I hover over them like this, pile 3. Now, this pink, I'm seeing it like a beautiful slice of watermelon now, which makes me think of summer and a time of celebration. And so I feel like there are other pastures in your life that are also worth watering, kind of like the same amount that you water your spiritual yearning, right? We want you to almost like put spirituality in your pocket, kind of like I'm seeing you keep your driver's license in your wallet and you put that in your pocket every time you leave, but you don't necessarily kind of like focus so hard on having your wallet with you, your driver's license with you, credit cards, cash, pictures in that wallet. It's just there for you to draw upon when you need it, but it's not the focus, right? And I feel like there is this like slight focus shift. I'm seeing like this moon now. I was getting this concept of puckering. It's like the sun is rising, and obviously that dance between the sun rising here, the moon must go down. And it's almost like we're bringing spirituality into every aspect, and it's almost blinding us is what's coming through. And looking for, I had a huge epiphany, and it feels like Spirit wants to draw upon that over the weekend. There are periods of my life where I interpret absolutely everything as a sign. That's what's coming through right now. And I feel like that's working against you. Interpreting absolutely every crow, bird, butterfly, dragonfly, person as a sign. And I want to just ask you right now, what? Why? What does it mean? Right? In those moments when you're getting a butterfly and you're like, that's a sign. Are you asking yourself after that, pile 3, a sign for what? Right? Instead of just seeing them, right? Because sometimes we see butterflies and dragonflies and they're not messengers. They're just going about their way. You have to kind of ask your spiritual guides for advice or to see something, you can absolutely ask them to show you something, but it's that asking that's required. You have to ask for the sign and then ignore or like put that out of mind. And then when it comes to you, that's when the sign is received. And I'm feeling like it's almost like this concept of trying to keep the sun and the moon out at all times. And it creates just light, right? It's only light. And that's why it's that message of duality came up early in your reading. It's so important that we have light and dark, right? Otherwise, there's no context, there's no contrast, there's no shadow, and so you can't perceive anything. If everything was light, everything was bright, everything was white, you would never ever see anything ever, because you would just be completely blinded by light and whiteness and brightness. And so, even pursuing things spiritually, you're not going to miss out on suffering occasionally during life. And so, don't be afraid of suffering. Don't fear the unknown. I'm just seeing spirituality be a pocket knife. I'm seeing a pocket knife that I used to bring to all my camping trips when I was in Boy Scouts. And that pocket knife, has so many different tools on it. It's very useful. And I'm seeing spirituality being a tool in your pocket, right? After you develop it, you can call upon it in times of need. But if you just have that pocket knife open at all times ready, you're going to trip and cut yourself, right? That's a really cool message, Spirit. Thank you. And so it's the same way with having the sun and the moon out at the same time. You're going to blind yourself. And you're going to go through this process where your soul tries to even you out, right? Because you're going to burn yourself out or blind yourself, and then you're going to have to pull back from spirituality and then slowly incorporate it again. And until you're able to find a balance where you're not going whole hog, you're going to go through periods where it's blinding and then it's darkness. It's blinding and it's darkness. We don't want you to toggle between that, because you're a spiritually gifted individual. Allow that to be a part of you, right? Just like I am an artist, I'm an illustrator, I'm very talented with illustrating. But it's not like I want to use illustration every single day, or it's not like I need to convince myself that I am a good illustrator, so I need to pull out a piece of paper and a pen and pencil right now and draw something to convince myself that I have this talent or ability. It's just something that I know I have because it's been developed and practiced, and that's you, Pile 3. You already have this. This is a very interesting message. I'm very curious as to why Spirit wants to talk about this like this. I think it's because you guys are already spiritual and evolved, okay? So let's move on to tiny messages. Okay, let's just dig right under here. You, Art Museum. Let's get 3. Again, something way hidden. You, Life in Color. That's so synchronistic, you guys. We talked about things being black and white and blinding, and we need both black and white for the nuance, the shades in between. And then one more. Let's get way under here. You Feel Good. Vintage. And I'm going to pull you because you did want to come out and get this. Oh, nope, you don't want to. Okay. All right. So this is our advice. And in general, I love to do my eagle eye view. This is talking about your experience and coloring it with something new, okay? Art. We want to bring art in here, okay? So something working very well for you right now is this card of inspiration. It's one of my very favorite in this deck. It just feels so beautiful. You can feel the movement from this dancer here on that, just such a lovely pink color. I don't know why. It's just really gorgeous to me right now. It's kind of like a deep grapefruit color. And this inspiration, you have a really good ability to tap into your subconscious, but it's not... I'm seeing you create a block for yourself. Okay? I'm seeing you create a block for yourself that doesn't actually exist. And so you're almost convincing yourself, just like I said in that illustration example. Spirit always brings through exactly what needs to be said. I don't convince myself and grab a piece of paper and worriedly draw something in an effort to remind myself that I can utilize illustration and can draw whatever I desire. I don't have that kind of ness, right? I don't need to convince myself of that. You guys don't need to convince yourselves of your spiritual ability. Okay, you don't need to be better than anyone. Your gifts can look differently than what you see or read about. You can experience your gift by yourself. And I'm actually hearing that that's kind of what we would, if you wanted to do some spiritual work, that's what you would need to do. You would need to pull away from texts at this time and books and programs and other psychics in order to learn what it looks like to you, because cliches sometimes really pull us away from the truth because we're focusing on the words. And something that comes through often, it's a personal annoyance of mine as an Aquarius, is that cliches are actually really clunky and they do a terrible job of explaining the concept. You have to really learn about a cliche before you understand what it means. Okay, so it's really important not to get stuck on words and how another person illustrates that idea or concept. It's a lot more effective for you, Pile 3, if you're developing a spiritual gift and want to see it unfold more. It's got to be through your unique perspective, your lens. Okay, but again, this concept of having a spiritual ambition is one that we want to get rid of. It's working against you, this drive to be super, super spiritual, okay, or to only pursue spirituality. We want that to be something you fold in, right? We don't all want to end up like monks. And I know that's it's a very me concept to say because it's kind of like faux pas in this community, but at the same time, it makes sense to me intellectually through the understanding of consciousness. Anyways, you guys, right here, advice from Spirit, everything to do with art and exposure. Okay, so I think when is the last time you've gone to an art museum? I'm also hearing you don't have to recreate the wheel. I'm hearing that a message coming through again about you not needing to worry about your connection to the divine, to your connection with spirit guides and angels. They are always there. And it's going to become more reliable the less you call upon them, because you're going to call upon them when you genuinely need them instead of just blindly looking for signs to come, right? To show you that they're around. If you're actually in that vibration, what you're telling yourself subconsciously is that you don't believe. Because if you truly believed, you wouldn't need to receive signs over and over and over again, right? You wouldn't need to be convinced. It would be an understanding that you have this pocket knife, this wallet that you keep in your pocket that you can draw upon at any time, but you don't need to convince yourself anymore of that. So what Spirit wants you to focus on, it feels like, I'm getting go to an antique store, go to an art museum. We want to incorporate more color in your life. This could be very literal as well, okay? So thinking about being a product of your environment, if you're a sensitive person, you might at times shift your environment, like literally move your furniture around or change the color of the pillowcases. I talk about that one often. Art museum and vintage talks to me about going to different stores, okay? And art museums, I think that there could be some history there for you. Right? I think going to an art museum and being around that history, vintage museum, older things filled with rich history, I think that's going to be very intriguing to you. Okay? There is something about that. So this is our general overview about basically everything Spirit wanted you to bring to your awareness at this time. Now let's make room for a love reading. And, I gave myself a little pep talk this morning over coffee, and I know I already told you guys I'm going to do committed relationship and singles, but I don't think I'm ever again going to do people who are already in relationships. That's just not something I'm interested in. It's very boring to me. I'm only going to call upon messages for people who are single because, now hear me out, because if you're in a committed relationship, and you don't want to make that open, you're in a committed relationship, so you're going to be happy. And that's something you got to figure out on your own. But if you're in a committed relationship and you do have freedom to explore outside the relationship, then you're going to be able to listen to a singles reading and get a message for yourself. That's what we're going to do. We're going to move forward. We're going to look at love. And I am honestly saying forevermore, it's going to be single, because that's your own interpretation, right? And I also feel like sometimes listening to either committed or singles, you can even pull relationships or messages from an opposing relationship concept. For example, if you're single, you can still get a message from a committed relationship. And it just feels like I have very strong opinions about relationships, especially codependency, and I don't wish to explore those in a spiritual sense on my tarot channel anymore. So I want to keep love readings very light, because that's what it should be like. So here's my wickety cool big custom deck. We're going to draw a bunch of messages, maybe even draw on two people. I don't really know. Ooh. It's not that deep. And Aphrodite. Okay. So, two messages. One, I feel like something came up between you and this crush, this individual. Try to let that go. It's not that deep is what I'm hearing. And for others of you, this crush, it's not really anything more. It's nothing more than just a crush. No real feelings from the opposing party. Okay, let's see if I can't be a little bit more specific here. They could drive a dark colored car, and they could have the most adorable dimples. Okay, so what I'm picking up on now is more like a relationship that's nebulous, okay? I think you guys are at the very beginning stages of this connection. And they make you smile, right, with dimples. There is a true passionate connection that's coming through with Aphrodite and Venus. You know, I'm going to pull your tarot card out. Again, you did have the King of Wands. I was picking up on that being a person for some of you. For many of you, it feels more like you and your authentic power. Yeah, that's why I think this. Okay, finances and career. This card always comes up when it's a dead end, and then release your ex. Okay. So, okay. What we're going to do is get through this message, and I'm going to draw another love message. I'm going to ask for Spirit to bring forward a genuine crush that is a positive connection. Okay, so one that has potential, because this is a dead end, like I was picking up on. Finances and career, financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. What I'm picking up on is that we really want you guys to focus more about building your empire. Okay, you're going to start having a lot more power and energy at your disposal, and passion and commitment and drive and willpower. These things might sound trivial, you know, for someone interested in a love reading right now, but that's what your soul needs at this time the most, okay? We got to get you a little bit more stability, got to get you on your feet a little bit more in order to avoid, I just heard eloping for some reason, which does bring to me this concept of codependent relationships. Anyways, moving past it. Yeah, we just want to focus on utilizing this new energy. It's the most important thing, okay? And I'm going to take a look at another love reading right now, and I am a little bit reading all this in my head. Sorry, guys. But if I could just, read through the lines, give you guys an eagle-eye view, it's so much more important right now for you to focus on your career and your finances and what you're building. And what's great, because this is your focus, but also because you have this card of inspiration at your disposal, focusing on work and career is exactly what you should do to take your mind off love, because that's what's going to create the vibrational match for this next partner to come in. Okay, we're going to take a look at who that might look like. Now, I really do want to bring home this idea, though, about having inspiration and the King of Wands at your disposal when your focus should be finances and career. That is everything you need to be successful. Again, one of the very first comments I had for you guys in your reading is, if you have inspiration and action, you're creating, right? Because you also have 3. 1 and 2 is 3. And so you are being very creative in the next coming days, weeks, and months. You have creativity at your disposal. I'm hearing that you guys are coming out of a dry spell. Okay, for some of you that's sexual. For some of you it has everything to do with creativity. Okay, I'm also hearing that seduction and sexual energy, if we can water that from time to time but not focus entirely on it, that's going to feed and create this feedback loop between your ambition and drive and inspiration. It's going to fuel it. I'm hearing lubricate it. Okay, so I'm seeing like an ellipsis and an ellipsis. Is an ellipsis a ... A figure eight, okay? There are lots of names for that figure. Figure eight, a lemniscate is another word for that. Anyways, I'm seeing this figure eight, okay? And I'm also seeing it be greased or lubricated. And it feels like sex, love, attraction, those things lubricated, but they're not the only thing, right? Your spirit guides are being very specific for you, pile 3. What they're saying is that it's time to kind of step into your power. It's time to start being in your body with everything at your disposal. I'm just seeing what's it called? I don't know what this is called. A control box pretend it's an airplane, okay? But it could be really anything that's operated. Lots of buttons are coming on board now. They used to have like this keyboard and only there was 2 keys on it. Now I'm seeing 50 keys and they're all glowed up and they're all lit up and they're glowing and you can click on all of them. They all do things now. And that's who you are and that's where you are in your life right now. You can suddenly do lots and it's like know how to do everything and anything that you desire. And it's time to kind of figure out now where you're going to direct that energy. Because now you have access to yourself as a soul. And with this newfound access, we kind of want to make sure that you're able to go into create things that you want to create, that you came here to create, but that you want to create, that you desire to create and to bring into experience into the world. You have all the ability as a soul now in order to do this. And so it's really important to focus there, to focus on that keyboard. What combination of keys are you going to do? You know, like you can use the combination DIMPLES to spell dimples, right? Or you could use any other combination to create any other word. And it feels like we want to figure out what combination you're going to use, pile 3. You know, what are you going to create now that you have access? I did say I was going to take a look at a different connection, so let's just do that really briefly. Okay, I'm going to pull all these out. I'm going to leave kind of maybe those there. And you know what? Let's go for this deck again. Okay, so this is for pile 3. This next connection, this next fling, this next crush, it's gonna be a little bit. What do we got from your childhood? Okay, from your childhood. So what I'm hearing is 2 things. 1, this is someone that you went to school with when you were younger. For others of you, this person was older than you and you had a crush on them, a really significant crush. But there was always an age gap. But I'm hearing that enough time has gone by where that age gap has gotten really narrow, or to the point where neither one of you really care about any stigma attached to age or the difference between your ages. I'm picking up on, a crush. And I'm hearing it's like, no way. Like if you were 8 or 10 years old again and you knew that one day you guys were going to like be together in an intimate sense, you'd be like, nuh-uh, like that's not possible. No way would he or she ever want to be with me. But that's what I'm seeing. Brie Vandekamp. Okay, but Spirit is shutting this down because we care more about what you guys are doing now that you have access to a full keyboard. Okay, Brie Vandekamp, she's an entrepreneur. That's the King of Wands as well. Can make anything happen. Very fiery spirit as well. Very creative individual. Okay. Oh, she's a little bit the Queen of Pentacles, but more of the Queen of Wands. She knows how to have a good time. But this is an individual, independent businesswoman. Okay, that's what we kind of are asking of you. Pile 3. So let's wrap up your reading. It is rather long. We're going to pick up on an animal spirit guide and what they have to say. Yeah, I just feel like you guys are this King of Wands. So this is for pile 3, please. The Blue Heron Reflection. Okay, this is the Hermit. Okay, look this up. First message is, my spiritual people who are adepts here in pile 3, you're more than capable of divining this message if you were to look this heron up. Now, for others of you, 4 and 5 is 9, and I'm pretty sure 9 is the Hermit in the tarot, which is really cool. And it's all about a period of reflection. Okay, and so, the hermit goes into the cave in order to find light or truth, to light the way for the next path or the next spiritual cycle, because you're going to keep going through these spiritual cycles through life, and you're going to spiral on outwards, always growing, right? And so it feels like you got to have this period of reflection. Now that you have access to your soul, I'm literally seeing you put inside the cockpit now. You're awakened, okay? You're illuminated. You at least have the ability to go out there and to gain new perspectives and understandings. And so you will always go through this period of evolution spiritually. And so because you possess that ability, you're now in the driver's seat, in your soul. This is something a little bit more evolved, okay? So now that you have gotten awake, you've gotten an understanding of yourself, you know how to make things happen, you know how to create things, what are you going to make? What are you going to create? What do you want to do? You obviously know how to do it all. You can bring it in a number of ways. You can do it in a spiritual sense or in a very grounded, practical sense. It's up to you, and it depends on, circumstances. But what do you want to make? What do you want to create? What did you come here to do? What is your unique spark of creation? What do you want to share? What do you want to leave behind? What do you want to experience next? That is up to you, and that is where we're going to leave your reading, my beautiful pile 3s. I really hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, or if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are in the world, and until next time, stay divine. Hey, Pile 4, welcome to your reading. I hope you guys are doing so well today. We have a bunch of lenses to look at. First thing we're going to do is a general overview. Then we're going to take a look at love, and then we're going to look at a message from an animal spirit guide. So for this general overview, over here we have something to expect, what's going well, what's working against you, and then we're going to do some advice using tiny messages. So let's begin with what to expect. Four of Swords, okay, recuperation or a period of pause or stagnancy, okay? But what I'm hearing is it is not a bad pause. I'm hearing this card more as the energy of meditation or recuperation, okay? I know sometimes the Four of Swords can be associated with being still for too long and then fossilization, but what I'm getting is more like a pause before expansion, right? I'm getting like take a breath, right? This is the energy that you can expect in the coming, it's going to be different for everyone. Timelines are, a little shifty, right? For each person, it's going to be different. Could be days, weeks, months into the future. Now, the Four of Swords really embrace this energy of recuperation, okay? I think that you guys have been low on energy lately or more tired lately, needing better sleep, and these things are about to be solved is what's coming through. I'm just getting this concept of calculated moves, okay? I'm hearing the word ploy, okay? And that's trying to, I feel like, infer that it's important to have an understanding of what you're doing, a plan of action, and an understanding of how much energy you have to work with, and recognize that there are periods of growing and periods of, like building a foundation. You know how a seed starts under the soil, putting down roots before it sends up that initial stalk or seed leaf. And what I'm getting is it's that period, right? That period of under the soil, very calm, very nourishing as well. All the nutrients are in the soil. And I'm getting that this darkness, the void, we're going to have to get a message from the void. This darkness, this recuperation period, it's very nurturing and healing to you. So embrace this as what's coming through. Usually, lately, I guess, I've been interpreting the energy of the Four of Swords more of like, careful, don't be still for too long. It creates undue confusion and fossilization. You don't want to get stuck in place and then enter quicksand, and then yikes, okay? But what I'm hearing is that this is more of like a well-needed rest. And I gotta sniff. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Okay, so thank you, guys. So yeah, Four Swords, recuperation. But I heard that message about the void, so I'm gonna reach in here and see if I can't just find a message for you guys. It feels like you. What does this say? You receive abundance from the present. Okay. All right. That does feel to me a little bit of the energy of, anticipating some expansion, which is what we were discussing. So it has an added message, though, about being very present, right? And I think that's what the word ploy was trying to convey to me, is it's like, be very conscious of the action you're taking and how much energy what you're putting in takes from you, so that you just have an understanding as far as what to expect in the future and how much you have at your disposal in any given day. This is also saying that the more you are present, right? So that's that message of meditation here with the Four of Swords. That's where abundance comes from. It doesn't come from being in the past and having undue anxiety and disconnected thoughts. And it doesn't come from the future, right? Worrying and having anxiety about what's to come. It comes from and is delivered in the present moment. And what I'm hearing is that you developing more presence of mind is actually going to help you see the blessings that are already in front of you that we might be taking for granted. And that is not to call anyone out. I do this all the time, though I also have a very good program in place to kind of implement this awareness about gratitude for what I have already. I'm feeling like we need to assimilate or acclimate to what we've been given right now, to hold this, to know the weight of this ball. Because I feel like you're about to hold another ball. And you got to be comfortable tossing one ball into the hand of the other before you're juggling two, is how this is coming through. It's like, get used to holding on to this energy. Also recuperate a little bit because you've been going through DNA upgrades and I think karmic things about the physical body too are being digested in a spiritual sense. And hold on to this new, this orb right here, because you're going to get a second one. And here's that second one right here. And you're going to have to juggle two of them. And that's going to be a lot in and of itself. And we don't want you to tire out. So hold on to what you have right now. Also develop gratitude for it, because that makes you a very strong, energetic match for that second orb I'm seeing for you guys. Okay? It makes you a strong, energetic match because you're prepared for it. Okay? Now, 1 second. I'm so sorry. I literally have to sniffle again. Okay. I brought a sunflower into the house. And I always suffer from the pollen, but it's so beautiful I have to bring it inside. So let's move forward. What's going well? You guys, every single pile had a Mercury placement, I'm pretty sure. In this aspect right here of what's going well. You have the number 9 first, okay? So success, Mercury, communication. So I think you're also, what's going well is the way you talk and express yourself and finding words. To express yourself more easily, more eloquently, but I'm also hearing finding texts that you really relate to, like books, and I'm also hearing TV shows, information, sources of information. You're celebrating a bit of success and luck when it comes to running into the right books at the right time. And I'm getting books because it's the placement Sagittarius, which is always about expansion of knowledge and the truth, the search for truth and knowledge. And I get that being very, very pile 4, right? It's very, very you. To be interested in different cultures, to be interested in traveling, okay? If you have plans to travel or to study different cultures, that's a very good energy. That's very supported at this time. Anything that you're doing to expand your borders, right? And the boundaries as well. You're pushing the limits of your mind, and as a result, you're gaining new truths, right? There's something that's coming to light, okay? What I'm hearing, though, if I could move forward towards this, what's working against you, though, is that I think you're anticipating the future, and as a result, it's not that you block it, but you pull. I just saw you literally throw up this blanket, and it blocked the sun for a second. And I'm seeing that this act of anticipating what's to come, because I feel like Pile 4 has gotten this fog card a couple times, I feel like anticipating what's to come is creating undue confusion, and let's just be aware of that, okay? Because this concept of resisting things being confusing is working against you. The fog, when this card comes up, it's a reminder, yeah, for sure, the sun will always come out, okay? And that the truth is, just about to break through. Something is just about to come to light. Still, though, it is very much obscured in a blanket of fog. Now, there are two sides to this concept of being in the state of confusion. You can resist it and just feel like you're, perpetually exuding masculine energy of action and exertion to get through the fog. That's never going to work with fog. It's like smoke. You can't hold it, right? So that action plan's never going to work. You always have to use divine female energy. And since this is in the placement of what's working against you, I feel like just being is something you're struggling with. I think that you've been in this energy of the fog for a little bit too long, and you're just anticipating it lifting and what's it gonna look like and reveal on the other side. Now, the flip side of that coin is being able to just be okay and accept being confused. And those are two different energetic vibrations. Acceptance is a lot closer to a higher vibration than resisting it and being annoyed or impatient by the fog and using masculine energy to try to fight it and get through it. Now, you could be in the lower energetic vibration of resistance or higher energetic vibration of acceptance. Right now, we got to stop resisting this moment of confusion in our lives because it's going to birth something very creative and something very beautiful, but in its own time and in its own way. And I'm seeing you, okay, it's a very funny image, Spirit. I'm seeing a very tiny hole and a piece of rock candy on the other side of it. Rock candy on like a stick, okay? And I'm seeing that tip of the stick. You found a way to, it's going to fit through that hole. Oh, this is so cool. And you're pulling that rock candy stem through this tiny hole, and the second the rock candy actually makes its way, the stem goes all the way through, and now you're up to the rock candy. What you're doing is pulling that still with force, and it's actually, because the hole is so small, it's cutting off all the crystal rock candy. And so you're going to be able to extract this all the way through, but you're going to be left with a sticky stick, and all the rock candy is on the other side. That's so cool. That's exactly what's going on here. Okay? That's very interesting. Sorry, I'm a little geeking out. I love when there are really cool images that come through. That one just made so much sense, right? And so you could suck on that stick for a little bit, and it would be, a sweet stick for a minute, 20 seconds. But instead, I'm seeing that opening, that tiny little hole, is going to get bigger on its own, and you're going to be able to pull that stick and rock candy all the way through and lose none of it. But it's this energy of receptivity, right? Yeah, I could explain what I'm seeing, but I feel like it's a little, maybe some of you can read through the lines. Female energy, whole. Anyways, My God, Zach. Yeah, so that's what I see going on. Now, I wanted to clarify this fog and veiled, and I pulled from another deck, and I got this sextile card. What I'm picking up on first is that this is an aspect, okay? Not a planet, not a sign, but an aspect. Okay, so a description of, I think, energy. Right, so that's why I feel like this comes down to needing to be in divine female energy, receptivity, okay? Exuding what you wish to experience, so patience, right? The reward of patience is more patience. And the second thing that I'm picking up on is this starburst effect going on right here, this asterisk, the star, okay? What I think is on the other side, if I could peek, is the door opens. Right? There is a creative idea, abundance, an opportunity of some sort, right? This is sextile, an opportunity. I'm hearing opportunity is going to knock. I just heard as well, you're not going to miss this opportunity. I think that's probably what I'm hearing is it's the most crucial message for pile 4 to take away. You're not going to miss this opportunity. It's part of your fate. You're destined to reach it. Enjoy this period of recuperation, rest. You need this for where you're going next. You need this. And you are not going to miss it. It's not going to pass you by. I know we live in a world where you feel like you have to grab a hold and make everything happen for you, but we do work with the universe, right? It is a co-creation because Earth is a very difficult place to exist in. So recognize that the universe wants to work with you, and it's not going to present this juicy opportunity for you. And this could be a person, a job, it could be money, it could be a move, it could be, basically anything. It's going to depend. It's a little bit different for everyone. And we're not just going to, give you that concept, that desire, that intuitive hit that you want to go for this and dangle it in front of you and just remove it. The only way that it's going to be removed is if we kind of force it into being, because it removes the magic, just like we saw that stick being pulled through that tiny hole and it kind of cuts off. I hope that made sense. I was trying to do a really good job illustrating it. I don't really have anything to be able to show you that. I also feel like you don't need to, but I'm going to anyways. Okay, so pretend that this is the rock candy, this is the tiny stick, and you were pulling it through, and that's what happens. You can pull the stick through, but the rock candy is not going to make it through. And what I'm hearing is that rock candy is this opportunity. And we don't want to ruin it because I feel like it's going to come to us anyways. But if we're in the wrong energetic vibration, we're either not going to perceive it to be grand, or we're simply going to pass it by. We're going to acknowledge it, but it's not going to feel like anything, right? It's going to be sweet for a second, and then it's just going to taste like wood. Okay, cool. So this is the overview of what I'm picking up on. Now, I'm going to pick up on some tiny messages for pile 4. Let's get 3. Let's give this a good shuffle. I've been adding to this. It doesn't look like a lot, but there are literally over 300 messages in here. And I know it doesn't look like that, but some of them are super tiny. Okay, we got coffee. We got love. Let's get one more. 2 more, okay. Superpower and agile. Cool. Okay, so what I'm picking up on is this, coffee. It's a French press. There's a concept of patience, right? So if you force the strainer to go down too quickly without letting it marinate, for lack of a better term, or steep, okay, you're going to end up with a very weak brew, right? You're going to end up with your rock candy stick, and it's going to taste sweet for 2 seconds, and then it's going to just taste like wood. Here, you're going to have the weakest cup of coffee if you force that to come through that strainer too quickly, right? That's that message of coffee, okay? Now we have love coming through here. I'm getting this in a general sense. I'm picking up on love with the rainbow and kind of just what your soul feels like. I really love my pile 4s. There's a real gentleness to you despite having this, desire for the fog to live. Hey, I'm there too. So, just general love from spirit. Recognize that this opportunity is not going to miss you. Okay? It's not going to miss you. Try to, I'm hearing devil's snare again. Right? You guys have seen Harry Potter. I don't know if you know that scene where they fall through Devil's Snare, and the more you fight it, the more it constricts and it'll suffocate you and die. But if you relax, it lets go and you fall right through. Okay. Now, what I'm hearing is just kind of embrace the confusion. It's truly the better vibration. It's the difference between acceptance and rejection. And acceptance just simply is a better vibration to be at right now. Superpower describes you guys. Agile, flexibility. Okay. Okay. I'm hearing that this opportunity, it's going to look a little bit different for all of us. And I'm hearing for some of you, this doesn't have anything to do with the opportunity. For others of you, I feel like the opportunity is going to force you to take on a pair of wings that you once discarded. Curious message, okay, and pick up on something that you kind of left in the past, but it's going to just require you to be a little bit flexible, okay? You have a big skill set, pile 4, lots to draw upon, lots of creative abilities. We just want to make sure that you kind of have a little bit of a loose grip, right? So when you, I'm seeing a violin bow. I play violin. So if you hold that bow really tight and stiff, like right in the beginning, it's a very squeaky kind of like kind of sound when you're playing the violin. But if you can kind of like relax your hand, you can get a lot of different tonal qualities, and you can tip the hand. So you're just playing on a couple of the hairs, and you don't really let the hand sink in to play very strongly. So we want you to also have that same kind of finesse of your body and your energy right now as this opportunity comes into being, because the fog's definitely going to lift. All right. Superpower. Yeah, I think that for some of you, I'm quite literally hearing that you have been working out of 3 or 4 out of 10 as far as your spiritual talent or your psychic gift. And I'm hearing it's about to be amplified like times 6, right? At least from like a 3 to a 6. And it's going to feel like a superpower. For some of you, it's even more. Right? I'm hearing that you were in this period, and it comes from resting, right? You got to rest in order to go through the devil's snare. That's that message. Okay, so let's take a look at love now. I just got to tell you guys real quick, I just served some piping hot tea to pile 3. I'm no longer doing committed relationships because here's why. If you're in a committed relationship, I don't want to give you advice because I don't want to talk about committed relationships, especially you're either happy in it or you're not. If you're not happy in it, I can't help you unless you decide to open the relationship with your partner and have open communication. I'm not going to be that person. It brings the vibration in my readings down. But however, if you're in a committed relationship and you do have flexibility within this relationship to see other people outside the relationship, or just, to flirt or whatever, some flexibility, you're going to be interested in a singles reading. It's good. The messages are going to relate to you. So I just wanted to kind of put a little mini announcement here. I did do a committed love lens for piles 1 and 2, but I did not for pile 3, and I do not anticipate doing that into the future. So just give me a couple seconds to clear all of this, and we're going to take a look at love. Okay, so what I'm hearing is just to first simply crack into this romance deck. Get 2 or 3 of these. Calling in your soulmate. Wow. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So if you're not super interested in love, you can always just skip ahead. I am going to draw an animal spirit guide. All right, but I also feel like it's always good to listen because you could get something out of this. Something could be slant and totally apply to you. In something platonic, not necessarily romantic, but I am talking about romance in this lens. So calling in your soulmate. Wow. Okay. I'm getting an energy of this is a practice we're doing like right now. Okay. I also don't necessarily feel like I want any more of these romance cards because this feels like a kind of like a bigger energy, and I'm going to reach instead for this deck. Okay. So what I'm picking up on is that you guys are ready. You're primed. Pile 4 are people who do the work spiritually. Okay, you have a very good balance. You have spirituality as a tool in your toolbox. You don't let it be the only one that you wield, though. That's the difference between pile 3 and 4. Not calling shade ever, just trying to, illustrate in my mind. So that's, you guys, you utilize spirituality, but it's not something that, is an ambition of yours, right? It's just something that you can rely upon, draw upon. And I think that as a result of that understanding, as a result of you kind of going into this more receptive divine feminine energy, you're in this energetic state where you're basically, whether or not you know it or not, you're calling in a soulmate. This could be a friend. I don't think so, because I'm very much saying this is a romance lens. Seeing you would make it worse. Curious. Let's get a couple more. Winter. Safe to love. Summer love. Okay, a lot of love. Now, it's, okay, a couple messages coming through. Almost feels like A and B. Over here, seeing you would make it worse with winter. You know, this kind of makes me feel like there is someone in your energy field right now that you definitely still have feelings about. There are definitely feelings there. And I feel like, yeah, I don't know why I'm rating things today, but it feels like this person's a 4 out of 10 in your energy still. And so you can feel them in your stomach, okay? That's how I'm feeling this. You cannot make this up. This is crazy. I love when this happens. But you gotta let this one go, okay? You gotta let this one go. I know you feel this way towards them still, but I don't want them to take from you. That's where I sit when I do these readings. I am here and I want to pull everyone up to their most authentic sense of self, where they have all of their faculties as a soul as much as we can in this 3D incarnation. And so I don't mean to be callous or cold, but you got to cut this person away, because what are they doing? They're pulling you down, and it is my job to pull you up, or at least show you the way or guide you towards that, okay? But what I am picking up on is like this season is like a winter in your life. And yeah, we're approaching winter right now, but what I'm getting is that it kind of is withered, right? I don't sense giving this one any more life. This person, though, you know, thank you, Spirit, for that confirmation. Maybe something else. Yeah. Okay. There is a soulmate for you, and you're going to see clarity, you know, when this person is no longer in your aura, okay? Some of you are already making efforts to digest this feeling and this relationship and this emotion, and you're going to be, as a result, a very strong match for this soulmate that you're definitely calling in, okay? The Ace of Swords, you're getting clarity on kind of what caused this heartbreak, and you're learning from that. Okay, because I'm hearing it's safe to love, and your soulmate could come in as early as this summer. Okay, again, I don't like to pin down timelines because I'm talking to multiple people, and you guys have free will, so you have, you know, the ability to change overnight or to resist change for months, right? So that's why I always say that timelines are shifting. So this person, we're getting clarity about what went wrong and learning from it. And I think that lesson was necessary. Okay, I want you to have hope. That's why the star is here. It also falls out over this soulmate card. I do get star-crossed lover from this. And I also get soulmate again, okay? It comes from you doing a little bit of healing, okay? I'm also hearing that this person could be an air sign, okay? You're going to feel vulnerable with them, unlike you ever have been in a relationship. I think it's because you were learning how to get over kissing frogs and to digest that, okay? That's what's coming through. Yeah, this seems to be like the biggest message as far as these energies. What I'm hearing, it's going to make this reading a little long. I wanted to pull another one, but I'm so sorry, you guys. For the sake of this video, it's already so long. I'm going to just move ahead and do a animal spirit guide to wrap up your reading. I have the 3/4 of the video rendering right now, and it's already 2 hours and like something minutes, and I haven't even uploaded this one. We're already at like 27 minutes, so that's gonna... I don't know what I'm going to do if it goes over 3 hours. That's going to take forever to export. Okay, so this is for pile 4, this final message, the armadillo. Okay. It's something about the skin and rolling up into a ball. All right. Okay, so initial message, always research this little guy on your own. He's going to have a different message for each of us. The message it seems to want to relay in general for pile 4, though, is that from time to time, it's necessary to curl up into a ball and to retreat, right? You guys did have the 4 of Swords, right? And I'm picking up on that a period of rest is upon you, especially because that romance lens that did come out was a little denser, a little heavier, okay? So we want to make sure that your body, we go through so much in this lifetime, so much I'm hearing that we're not even aware of it. So we could be processing really dense, heavy things in our dreams and leave that in the subconscious when we wake up. And that's why we're tired. And I feel like that's an energy you guys are experiencing as well. So it's really important to be gentle with yourself right now. The energy of nurturing, the energy of the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress as well, right? If we could combine the 4 of Swords, a little bit of the Hermit, a touch of the Hermit, a touch of Queen of Pentacles, and a touch of the Empress, that's everything that we're prescribing for pile 4. All right. And I feel like this is where I'm going to leave your reading. I really enjoyed it. You guys, thank you so much for being here. If you liked this reading, or if you've made it this far into the video, you can give me a big thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really helps my channel, helps other people find these messages too. And I hope you have a great rest of your day, night, wherever you are in the world. And until next time, stay divine.